Before we get to reviews, I want to read this post because it kind of ties into everything that we've been sort of talking about. And the question here is, can you steal a tattoo? Hey, people, I have a question I'm hoping someone can give some insight to regarding tattoo etiquette between friends. My daughter has a pretty cool tattoo of a rose flower going up her forearm. Rose flower. Going up her
rose, right?
Yeah. The artist
rose, right? Is it?
I think it is. Yeah, he goes, the artist designed it, but it isn't too unique, but a bit different than some you see. But she thinks of it as her own. Her friend wanting a tattoo of a scorpion, which, by the way, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's badass. A scorpion, like, almost sting your ass, you know?
Yeah. Her friend who wanting a tattoo of a scorpion asked to see my daughter's tattoo as to judge the artist's work, even though he has tons of pics on Instagram and Facebook. My daughter, thinking nothing of it because their friend sent her a pic of her tattoo. Well, her friend decided not to get the scorpion, but instead almost an exact copy of my daughter's tattoo, wrapped around her wrist and up the arm a bit. Different location, sort of, but almost the same tattoo. My daughter's pissed and I'm agreeing with her. It seems dirty to me and a betrayal. I'm curious if she and me to some degree are just being petty. After all, a rose tattoo is not all that uncommon. I also don't want to blame the artist because who knows what she told him. So
this person is way too invested in this situation.
He's trying to, like, he seems to kind of understand that he's maybe, you know, he's like, are we being too petty? Like, he kind of, there's a part of him that's like, I kind of know, but there's a, you know, I think really his daughter's really upset. Do you know what I mean?
That'll get you upset.
Yeah, that'll get you upset, I think, right, Bryan? You can speak to that. But, like, I think that's really where he's just like, I don't want my daughter to be so upset, and I want to get some advice here on how I could possibly, you know, this sounds like young girl, like, you know, like teenage girls or whatever, like just kind of having a little infight about something. I think this kind of thing happens quite regularly with not just tattoos, you know?
I think haircuts, outfits, outfits, anything that you like look at, you don't want other people to rip off your thing. But like, I think Chris is right that the guy, like, some part of him senses that he shouldn't get too invested in this, and neither should his daughter probably. But I feel like he posted this hoping that somebody was going to reply, like, you're absolutely right. This is a betrayal. And what you need to do is roll up to this bitch's house with lead pipes. Yeah, like it's
just like, okay, so where's the location of this is a betrayal the tattoo artist needs. Where can you get a gun? You know, like just shit like that. And he's just like, okay, good, here we go. You know, like,
I'm gonna come out a little different and say that a tattoo of a rose flower is pretty common.
Yeah.
And like, maybe they look the same, but her daughter went to the same artist and said, I'd like a rose flower, and got it. You know what I mean? Like, other people are going to do that too.
Yeah, in a different location, and it sounds like wrapping around maybe, and like, but still, I mean, listen, who cares? You're right. But I think it's the same sort of thing where it's just like, I don't know if they're teenagers, but it sounds like the type of a fight that teenagers would have. And I think that it's just that kind of thing. Like, how dare you? Like, this is my tattoo. And like, and she's just distraught over it because she has a lot of like emotions and stuff.
Well, let's take a look at some of the comments here. First guy goes, this feels like if your friend gave their kid the same name you already had named your kid, especially if it was like a family name for you and they were just like, oh, that's such a nice name.
That's not, no, I don't think
a little bit of a shit stirrer, this guy.
I think a name is a little bit more, right? I think a name is more. And also like a family name, like this is my grandfather's name, like we're naming him like Donovan, who is like my father, you know? And then it's just like, hey, that's a cool name, I'm gonna name my kid Donovan. And it's just like, well, that's weird. That's weird. Not a betrayal. That's weird.
Yeah, just weird. This guy goes, this happened to my girlfriend. It was a memorial tattoo too.
Not the same.
Well, that's not the same. And that's
fucked up.
That's fucked up. And again, I want to hear some more specifics about that story.
He just goes, and her friend got almost the same tattoo in the same location. They don't talk anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that is weird. I'll go with them. Like, all this is weird. It just feels like something that would go on in that community to me.
But that seems like almost harassment or something, like not knowing all of the details. But it's like if you get like a memorial tattoo for like, say your loved one dies or whatever, and then somebody gets like almost the same exact tattoo in the same place without the memorial thing, almost to like, sort of mock you. I don't know, but we need more details on that.
I have a few of the same tattoos as my best friend. And there's a way to do that where it's like flattering, like teenage girls, you've got that thing. You don't want your best friend to go out, get the same haircut as you right after you get it. But also, if you have a conversation and she says, that looks really cute on you, I'm going to go do the same thing. That's also flattering. Like sort of seems like a clumsy attempt at flattery. The original rose flower situation, not the memorial tattoo situation.
They could have had a conversation first as well, though. But again, when you're younger, you're not necessarily, you don't think about that kind of thing.
Well, but you don't have manners.
You don't have manners.
If you're a parent, you could probably express that to your daughter too.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I do. If she gets mad about some shit, I'm like, well, it's not worth it. So this person says, I had someone copy mine and it sucks because it makes you feel like someone genuinely pushed you and grabbed your shit and ran.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make you feel that way. Two different situations is what that is.
Yeah. So getting a tattoo in general, when it comes to things like roses, isn't really stealing unless there's some specific contributing factors to the tattoo that were also copied. Then I would concede to it being stolen.